Hey guys, got a candy. Just hanging out in my apartment, taking in some late afternoon sun, which is unusual for one of my videos, I know. Usually it's quite dark, so you are treated to every pore on my face. I'm gonna have a second one actually, just to really ramp up the sounds. Just got back from a walk. I went to the laundromat. Now usually I would go at night time, but I had a day off today, so I thought get that out of the way. Sorry. I live on a main road, it's hard to avoid. So it was really busy at the laundromat today, and I'm not good with crowds, so it was suboptimal. And I have a washing machine here, but I don't have a dryer anymore. I had one, but caught on fire one time. Not quite fire, it was just smoking, and it's broken now. But anyway, I don't need to bore you with that. So I washed my clothes here, and then I take them to dry them at the laundromat. But all the dryers were full because it was so busy. And I thought, oh shit, I don't want to have to come back again. But one of the dryers was full of somebody else's stuff, but it had stopped, it was finished. And I thought, when are they going to come back to get it? There was no sign of anybody coming to claim it, and I waited for a few minutes. I thought, what's the acceptable thing to do? Can I move them and use it? And then I realized that right next door to this dryer that had just finished was an out of order dryer. I thought, well, let's have a look at what's in this dryer that's just finished. It was just towels. I think if it had been somebody's unmentionables, I would have left them alone, but it was just towels, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna take them and put them in the out of order one right next door. They can't miss it. And if they do, they're a dummy. So I did that and put my own stuff in, and my conscience is clear. Choked on my own spit. And when I came back, the towels were gone, so I assume they figured it out. So I'll sleep well tonight. And I have dry pillowcases, so everybody's happy. I have a story to tell you guys. Actually, to be completely transparent, I just got done filming this video, but I was laughing too hard, and I thought that's probably not going to be very relaxing, so I've brought the volume down, and hopefully the fact that I've just told this story will mean that I don't laugh too hard this time, although I'm already starting. And just a disclaimer, because I watched back the video and I thought, this story doesn't make me sound very good. And I want you all to still like me at the end, so so yes, just a disclaimer. This is not what I'm like every day. I think this particular day I was just I was ready to fight. I don't know what else to tell you. I was in a mood. But when I'm done telling it, you can climb into the comments and you can tell me what you think, whether I should have done something differently, or whether you're on my side. I'm hoping you are. If you watch my videos, that means you're on my side, right? Okay, here's the story. Oh God. So Sometimes I go and do water aerobics. Not very often because it's frankly quite expensive and it's getting colder here in Australia, so it's easy to go and do stuff in the pool when it's warm, but hard to motivate when it's cold outside. But I went a few nights ago because I needed the exercise. Been feeling a bit lazy. And the pool that I go to, it's like a recreation centre sort of thing. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got basketball courts, it's got a gym, it's got fitness classes, and it's got a few pools all in the one open space, and like a kids playground. You know that, I don't know if you have them where you are, but it's like a water playground. It's got this big bucket of water at the very top that periodically will spill over and gets everybody all wet, and it's fun. Just to paint a picture for you. And so there I was, at the back of the deep water pool. So it's also used as a diving pool for diving practice. So it's really deep, you can't touch the ground at all, which is really good for water aerobics, so that you're treading water the whole time. It's really great cardio. And then we do like a little, it's not quite a dance routine, but you do like jumping jacks and crunches and stuff in the water, to the sounds of the Bee Gees. And it's up to the instructor really, but this particular instructor seems to quite like disco, so there's a lot of Bee Gees and stuff. I Will Survive, Gloria Gaynor type of thing. And so there I am, I'm, pumping along, getting my heart rate up. And I noticed that the instructor's starting to she's kind of looking at something behind me, behind the class, and getting a little bit frustrated and trying to gesture to the lifeguards about something. And so I look behind me. I'm at the back of the class because I'm a cool kid and I like to sit at the back. I like to tread water at the back. Really, it's because I'm clumsy and have bad spatial awareness, and I try and just give everybody else a wide berth so I don't accidentally punch somebody in the back of the head. It's never happened yet, but I'm waiting for the day. Anyway, so I look over my shoulder and I realise what the instructor keeps looking at is this man who's standing at the back of the pool quite close to me. He's not in a swimsuit. He looks like maybe he's just come from the gym upstairs. He's in sort of workout gear and wearing a hat, and he's filming on his phone. Now, I guess this is the big point of contention, and this will be where you either agree with me or you don't. I believe it is not cool to film in a public pool. It might not be illegal. I don't know, I should check that. I don't think it is, but there are signs everywhere saying do not record. And I put another one in. Just generally feels like common sense that you wouldn't do that. Especially when there's children around, especially when there's women around. It's just not okay. People come to a place like a public pool with a reasonable expectation of privacy. And then there's some dude standing at the back of the pool, kind of sweeping his phone around at a bunch of different places. It seems like maybe, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, like he was filming somebody that he knew. But he wasn't focusing his phone in one specific place. He kept moving it around, so I was like, okay, this is sus. Try not to assume the worst about people, but it was a little sus. And like I said, I was ready to fight that day. But I thought, all right, give the instructor a chance to do something, give the lifeguards a chance to do something. 5 or so minutes go past. This guy hasn't moved, he's still exactly where he was. keeps putting his phone away, pulling it out again and filming. And the lifeguard is standing sort of on the other side of the pool and is sort of trying to wave him down, being like, don't do that. And he's ignoring her, ignoring everybody, just is in his own world. And I don't know what came over me. It's been a trying few weeks, you know. I'm not going to make excuses, but I am. I don't know, something came over me. I was just annoyed and I was starting to feel quite uncomfortable. I don't think I'd like made it into the shot of him filming, but then I don't know, because I was busy treading water. I didn't really have all my faculties about me. So, you know, feeling quite vulnerable. You're quite vulnerable when you're in a pool like that. So, after a number of minutes of realising that the lifeguards weren't doing anything, nobody was going up to him and telling him to stop. So I took it upon myself. Did anybody ask? No. Did I do it anyway? Yeah. So I was the closest one to him in the pool. So I swam over to him and I went, oi, trying to get his attention. And again, he just wasn't listening. He was totally ignoring his surroundings and kept filming. So what tools did I have at my disposal to get his attention? I splashed him. Just a little to get his attention. Just went, oi, splashed a little water on his feet. Which, you know, if you're standing at the edge of a pool, you're asking for it. No, I shouldn't have done that. I appreciate it. I shouldn't have done that. But somebody needed to get this man's attention, and nobody else was doing it. So I gave him a little splash and I went, hey, you need to stop filming. He turns around and he goes, what? I'm like, this is a public pool, man. You can't film. It's weird. And he immediately got so angry. Oh my God. This man clearly hadn't been told no very much in his life. So he started swearing at me and he's like, my son's in the pool. I can do whatever I want. I'm like, you can't. There's other people here. They're not consenting to being filmed. They're in their bathers, which is what we call swimming trunks or whatever. They're in their bathers, you know. It's not cool. And yeah, this man just like doubles down. He's like, I can do what I want, mind your own business. And I'm like, it's everybody's business now. And yeah, descended into a little bit of an argument. Try to imagine. It's difficult to have an argument while you're also treading water and this man's standing like way up here. I'm like, stop filming. That's why I was laughing so much the first time, because it's so silly. And I'm hoping I'm adequately capturing the ridiculousness of this exchange that I had with this man. So, anyway, I was like, whatever, you're an idiot. And I went and swam back to my spot in the class and kept going. But this man was not going to leave it at that. He started pacing up and down the back of the pool where I was, kind of like following me as we were kind of, the class was moving back and forth, kind of, you know, running underwater, that kind of stuff. And he kept following me and like hurling insults at me and just the weirdest stuff. Like, I couldn't hear everything that he was saying because, you know, my ears were underwater half the time. And you know, the Bee Gees were pumping so loud. But I heard him say one thing, which was, you loser, get a job. Which is a bold thing to say to somebody who's come along to, frankly, quite an expensive water aerobics class. I have a job. So it went on like that for a little while, like an uncomfortably long amount of time. He just wouldn't give up. And at that point I was just like, piss off. Like every time he tried to say something, I was like, F off, piss off. Like, Go away. Because, you know, I half expected him to climb in the pool with me. He looked like he was that angry. I was like, man, it's not that serious. I'm sorry I got your sandals wet. But anyway, eventually, thankfully, a lifeguard noticed this was going on and came over and spoke to him, and I don't know what they said. But eventually the guy walked away. And I continued the rest of the water aerobics class, undisturbed. And at the end, when I got out of the pool, the instructor came up to me and she was like, "Are you okay? Was that guy rude to you?" I'm like, yeah, he was being a real knob. And she was like, "Do you want to..." Sorry, pause for motorbike. She's like, "Do you want to come talk to the head lifeguard about this? Because this stuff's not on. Like, people try and film my class all the time and it's not okay." And I was like, ugh, I don't want to be like a Karen or anything, but yeah, this guy's conduct was super inappropriate. Like, it'd be one thing to be like, if I was like, "Hey, stop filming," and he was like, "Yeah, alright, whatever," and walked away, but the fact that he just was like following me up and down the pool was so weird. So uncalled for. So out of pocket, as the children say. And you know, like I said, I was in a fighting mood that day, so I was like, yeah, let's talk to the head lifeguard. Let's get this guy banned. Can't be acting like that. And the head lifeguard finally showed up and was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that." It seems like this stuff happens all the time, these poolside conflicts. And here I thought it was special. No, this stuff happens all the time. And I was like, I think you need better signage, because there are signs that say don't film, but they're not super obvious. I think they need to be more obvious, because common sense is not enough for some people, I suppose. And then this man had left, but the instructor was like, "Oh, I think this lifeguard should walk you to your car, because we don't know. This guy might be ready to throw fists." And I was like, yeah, maybe. Because it was quite dark and I had parked quite a long way away. So he ended up walking me to my car just in case, which I really appreciated. But I did feel a bit embarrassed, like I was making a big deal for no good reason. But I don't know. What do you think, guys? Was I being really juvenile, or did I have a point? I don't know. I think it's a funny story though, and I hope it made you laugh. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to that pool now, honestly. It was just a very uncomfortable situation. And I don't want to run into that dude again, my god. But that would mean that he wins, right? Can't have that. And there's not that many pools around here, so I'm kind of short on options. I do really like that place. No, I can't let him win. No. Nuts to that guy. Anyway, so that's my story for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you still like me. Well, that's it for all of my lollies. Thanks for stopping by.